Welcome, everybody. Well, today we have some coffee that Aaron made us. It's scrumptious to me.
It just tastes like water with some milk on top.
That's what it is.
But yeah, welcome to the 1950s. I feel
Yes.
very up close and personal with you all right now.
Yeah,
I feel
wait,
like
what's...
My chair is not usually this far up.
Well, yeah. So, just like, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the
How many
1950s.
times can we welcome you to this?
You guys are
episode?
so welcome today. Who are you wearing? Fit check, go.
I have this cardigan that I got for Christmas from you one time.
Yeah.
I got this like yellowish, tannish, brownish, whitish flannel, short sleeve flannel. From Columbia.
Mm.
It's actually thrifted. And I
Fun.
got these like high-waisted, tight-waisted pants.
High-waisted, tight-waisted.
From Amazon. I have this belt. I have these black socks from Amazon. I got this belt's from Kohl's. And these black high-top Converse from Christmas.
Fun. I have, this, starting off with my neck scarf. Sorry. It is actually a headband from, like a bandana from a pirate costume. My shirt, my top is, I think, from Hot Topic. It was a gift, but I think it's from Hot Topic. This belt is from a jacket, I think. That is from like the early 2000s, so I don't know where that's from. This skirt, you can't even see the main event because it's on the other side. Hold on. There's like a poodle thing on there. It's not actually poodle.
Looks like a sheep.
Because that's what it is. My grandmother made this. And she said that it is a sheep, but she was trying to make a poodle skirt. And so she just used what she had. And then my socks are from, I'm assuming Amazon, they're from Christmas. And then these shoes are not Converse, but they're supposed to look like they are. And they're, I think, from like Walmart, probably. And this bracelet was also a gift.
What was the poodle skirt? Like, why did they have poodles attached to leashes on their skirts?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it was just like a trend. It was just like, they were just like, one girl was just like, I have a poodle on my skirt. And then everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I'm going to be exactly like you. Because like before, before everybody was wearing whatever they wanted, everybody wore the exact same thing.
Right.
Which is very interesting, I feel like.
I don't think that's actually true.
Yes, it is.
We only have sources from freaking news and pictures.
That's true.
And magazines
but
where
I feel
everyone wore the same thing.
But I feel like that's why nowadays we don't have like a look. Like we don't have like a 2020s look.
Maybe
it's
not
just like
to us.
different because like everybody wore the same makeup, especially like the farther back you go, the more uniform
Only
it
the people
is.
who were in the spotlight wore the same makeup and the same clothes because that's how it is.
Okay. Well, that's from what I see.
I think fashion has gotten more like
More
open
do
to
what you want.
diverse, but that's only because of like social media. because now we can see everyone from the speck of dust they are to the biggest celebrity. And so everyone's like, wait, I kind of like that, but I don't like this, which my people would wear. So, like, back then, I think we only saw the big people, the celebrities and all that. But not, like, every single person. So I don't think everyone wore the same thing.
Well,
I
of
think-
course there was still the people who were like outcasts and stuff, but like the popular people.
Outcasts? I also don't think this every single popular kid at high school just wore the same outfit.
Well, obviously that's not like a uniform. I mean like trends. Like there was like things that were like
Yeah, just like today.
Mhm.
There are trends, but not everyone wears that trend.
I guess you know what like the trend is today? Like leggings and a big sweater.
That was so, like, 15 years ago.
That's still also today.
When was the last time you saw someone wear leggings and a big sweater?
Every day, literally.
Okay, who have you seen today wear leggings and a big sweater?
I haven't been anywhere today.
Yesterday.
I also didn't go anywhere.
So you don't see everyone every day wear that. And I have literally never seen anyone
Why
wear
are you
leggings
attacking me?
and a big sweater since freaking like 2019 or later.
That's definitely not true.
Earlier.
That's definitely not true.
That's actually the most truest statement I've ever said, actually, in my whole
All
life.
the teenagers I know wear that, except for Carly. Anyway, let's get into our dumb ideas. My dumb idea was actually another brushing my teeth one. Okay. Actually, I was whitening my teeth because I was doing that. And then I was like rinsing out my mouth afterwards. So I like had my hand under the faucet and then I put it in my mouth, you know, like swish, swish. And then I did it again with my hand and then I spit into my hand on accident as I was bringing it up to my mouth
Oh my gosh.
to swish more water. And so I accidentally just spit into my hand and then put it back in my mouth.
That's crazy.
But like it was like so fast. It was so fast. I was like, that did not just happen.
That's so crazy.
You know, I actually realized this, which I actually think I mentioned it briefly on the show before, but it was like during our retro summer, our no phone summer, I did feel myself start to slow down because I realized that I was viewing life as a pause from watching things or being on my phone.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to hurry everything up so I can get there faster. But it's like, really, what is the point? And then I really did slow down for a little bit there, and then I just kind of got back into the habit, which I'm working on.
I think the retro summer, like, really, because, like, I definitely felt that,
Mm-hmm.
and then ever since I, like, haven't even noticed that until just now you said that, like, I think it's completely flipped for me now,
That's good.
where it's, like, when I'm watching something, it's like when is this going to be over so I can go do that thing I've been trying to do.
That's really good for you. I'm like kind of in the middle somewhere. I'm like in a void of that thought because it's like I don't want to be watching something right now. I want to go be doing something, but it's
Yeah.
like, what do I go do? Like I don't have anything in this moment that I desire to do other than just like lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like,
Me too. Like, I use watching things as a try to not go do those things because I always have something. There's literally have never been a moment where like, oh, I don't have like anything like I could be doing other than watching TV. There's always something I can think of. Literally always. And I don't think it's been like a long time since I haven't had something I could be doing.
wow. That actually sounds a little bit exhausting. I think everybody always has something to do, no matter what it is or who you are. It's just like a matter of remembering that you have to do that because like I know that there's things I have to do. I have to write stuff. I have to memorize stuff. But, like, and I could be doing that instead of watching YouTube, but, like, YouTube is just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. I like having things to do, though. And, like,
no, yeah,
not,
that's good.
like, many of them have deadlines, but, like, only one thing, I think.
I hate when things have deadlines.
I
Because
don't
it stresses me out. But I also need deadlines.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have them, then I'll never do it.
Right.
It's just like
Deadlines, like, stress me out, but, like, I like them.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, oh, I will actually get this thing done.
It doesn't necessarily stress me out that I'm not gonna get it done in time. Okay, no. It stresses me out that because I have to get it perfect by then is what it is for me.
Depending on what it is, yeah.
Because if it's like, I need to write something by this time, then it's like, I have to make it good by this time.
Finish it by that time.
Yeah. And
Not
it can't be like...
make it the final product.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing what you're talking about outside of this, you just have to have a finished product. I did air quotes for the ones who are listening. You have to have something to read by the deadline. And
Right.
also there's technically has not been a deadline yet. There's a deadline to have a full thing finished, not individual projects. There's no deadline.
Yeah, I know. It's just like...
You're just making it seem like there is. And you're putting the pressure on yourself.
This is just not my area of expertise. So it just is
make it
more
your
of a
area
struggle.
of expertise. If you keep saying it's not my area of expertise, then it never will be.
You're right.
Because then you could literally be writing a book, published a book, and be like, but by the way, guys, I'm not a writer. But, like, this is my project. But I'm not a writer. I'm not a professional writer, even though I wrote a whole book and published it.
Okay, now that you mention that, even though I just said what I just said, erase that. Because you know what I realized the other day? Everybody is just pretending.
Yeah.
Literally everyone. Because you know what I was thinking? I was like, yes, there's people who are, like, better at things than other people. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, in a professional manner. Like, there's, like people who are good at things. Like, it's all subjective. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I guess artistic-wise is what I'm talking about. Not necessarily, like, school or, like, anything like that. I mean, like writing a book.
Yeah.
Because if I gave you 2 or 3 pages that, like, different people wrote, I'm sure it wouldn't be very easy to to figure out which one was actually published and which one was just, like, I mean, like, depending, but I mean, like everybody's just a person. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not any more of a person than I am.
Yeah.
So it's like, why can't I do that? You know?
Right.
Which I'm trying to remind myself that I know that. But, like, because everybody should know that. Like, just because somebody has the equipment to do something doesn't mean they're better than you at it.
Right.
Because we're just as official as anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, this podcast is just as official as literally any other podcast that is on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's just 2 people sitting in a room and talking.
Yeah. Like, there's not, like, we meet every criteria. Like, it's not, like, and my TikTok videos that I post are just as official as famous TikTokers. Like,
yeah.
They're the same. And if you publish a book with, like, a small publisher, it's still a book. Mm-hmm. It's still a published book. Like, it doesn't matter, like, how big your fan base is. Like, you're still at the same level of, like, officialness.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, realizing that made me realize that It actually, like, humanized people a lot more for me. Because instead of bringing me up to their level, it kind of brought them down to my level.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah. For the, like, grand scheme of things. But, like, you know, even no matter how much you remind yourself of something, you're still going to have moments where you forget.
Mm-hmm. But then you just got to remind yourself in that moment.
Yeah, right. Okay, well,
because that thing that because in that scenario you should be able to remember because you're literally thinking of the thing that you're trying to remember.
Yeah. In theory.
Because if you're thinking about being a bad writer, that is literally the opposite of what like we're talking about, and so then in your mind you're thinking of writing, and so you should be like, wait, while I was talking about this, I was thinking about this and that, and so then you remember
when you're upset
that whole conversation,
and like in a moment like that, that's how you would want the train of thought to go, but it doesn't really go that way. It goes in the other way of thinking about writing. I'm not doing very good at this. What are people gonna think? Why can't I do a good job? Like it just keeps going the other way, as opposed to going towards.
Well, then put the brakes on the train and make it go the other way.
No, what I'm trying to explain to you is, it's not very easy to steer your train of thought in moments like that. When you get out, when you're done with that moment and you think back on it, it's easier to, you know, hindsight is 20/20. Like it's easier to think about what went wrong in the situation. But when you're in the moment, you kind of have blinders on and you're just thinking about this and only this. You're not really thinking of how to fix it.
Then maybe the way to fix it is to get out of the situation.
Yes, it's just when you're in, at least for me, because I can't really speak for everybody, but when I am in situations like that, I can't really think about how to fix it. Because I'm so focused on what I am doing right now.
Right.
And that it is bad, instead of how to fix my thoughts. I'm focused on the fact that my writing is bad, and like that I can't figure out how to make the writing better. It's not like...
I'm not really talking about your thoughts, though. I'm just, like, in hindsight, that this will help your thoughts, but also a good way, like, because I'm understanding you're not thinking of, oh, no, I need to not think of that. It's just, because, like, now, other than a brain, you have to think of this thing in the opposite, which you can't in the moment. You can do another thing, which is physical, which is step away.
Okay, I see what
That's
you mean.
what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Is like because like your body isn't stuck there, your mind is.
Yeah.
So if you're like writing on your laptop and you're like, this is like just not at all what I want, this is bad, this is like, and like your brain is going that way that you're saying, then close the laptop and get out of that room. Like literally physically move your body somewhere else. Because then you're not in the environment that your thoughts were just at. And then your thoughts will be like, poof.
Poof.
And so then the hindsight of that thought will come at that moment.
Right,
because
okay,
you have left physically.
I see what you're saying.
So then your brain can also have a chance to leave.
That sounds like a really good idea. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying, like, I'm going to try that, is what I'm saying.
Well, I've never tried it. I just thought it could work.
Yeah. It sounds like a really good theory that I'm going to test out. But you still haven't shared your dumb idea with us.
Yeah. Mine, let me try to remember it. Because I wrote it down, but it's on my phone. I wrote it down literally last night. Oh, yeah. So, like last week, if you watched that episode, I'm in my Great Depression era. And so that means I'm like not spending anything. I'm just putting all my paychecks in savings. I'm like leaving like $50 in there just like for emergency. Like I'm like, oh, I need like food and I need products for different things and stuff. But so I've been like saving a bunch of money lately, and I've been like picking up shifts from work. And so last night I was like looking at my little schedule thing and seeing if anyone has like dropped one of their shifts that I can pick up. And I found one for this Sunday, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't work Sundays, but like I can still pick up a shift on Sundays. But so I was like, oh, this is only like a 5-hour shift, and like it's in like a time where I could go and stuff. And so I picked it up, and then I was like sad because I had to pick up a shift, but like now I have money for that shift. And then like I just picked that shift up, and like an hour later my mom like texted me, and she was like, oh, we're just so you know, grandma's inviting everyone to the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh yeah, the Super Bowl. And then I thought that the Super Bowl was like 2 Sundays away. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then I went upstairs, and my mom was home, and then I was like, so when is this? I think I just asked her like, when's the Super Bowl? And she was like, this Sunday. And I was like, this Sunday? And then I was like so depressed because I was working already awful, and I'm gonna miss the Super Bowl. But anyways, I was so devastated, and then I tried to like release that shift that I literally just picked up and all that stuff. And but then one of my coworkers texted me, and they were like, oh, did someone pick up this shift? And I was like, no, not yet. And then I was like, do you want the shift? And then she was like, yeah. And then but then she said that she couldn't see on the app that we have, that she couldn't see my shift release, but like I had messaged like the whole crew, like email, not like an email, but like message on the thing. She couldn't see that. She saw my message, but she didn't see that I released a shift, even though it says on my thing that I released a shift.
Oh,
so she was like, I'll just let them know when I like walk in. And I was like, okay, I'll just message them.
yeah.
And like I'll message the managers and let them know that you're taking the shift, and if like that's okay, because like why is my shift not released to everyone? They haven't messaged me back yet, but
that's unfortunate.
She's still gonna go in anyways. They can't like really stop us.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be like a shock to them. It's not really going to be an inconvenience, I don't think. Because you guys have like the same skill level, right?
Well, I've been there a lot longer. And I can... So, no, I do way more things than her.
Oh, well. That may be an issue, but...
Only if they place me in a position that she can't do.
Right.
On the chart. Which then they'll have to switch people around. But I'm usually in a place where she also is capable of doing things.
Well, I hope that gets sorted out.
Yeah, me too.
So the 50s. You say it.
No. What do you know? What do you just already know about the 1950s?
I'm actually surprisingly with how much I like the 50s aesthetic. I actually don't know very much. I know that, I mean, diners and sock hops, drive-ins, milkshakes, you know, basic stuff. I know a few, like, some songs. Actually, as I was doing research last night, I know, like, a lot less songs than I thought I did. But like I know, but like I have my reservoir of songs. Like I don't know every single song that ever played.
Yeah.
In
Just
the
like
50s.
they didn't.
Yeah. Like I don't even know every song that's ever played today.
Right.
So
That would be crazy.
like I like specific songs, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Just like everybody.
Well, I also only know like few things. One of my favorite TV shows is from the 1950s. I Love Lucy. I
Right.
literally have a poster of Lucille Ball on my wall because she's like my favorite like golden age Hollywood actress. She's literally only in like one thing. Well, she's in a lot of things, but like
Yeah.
that's like of course her number one
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, so when I say that I like the 50s, I really just mean like the aesthetic. Because
Mhm.
I actually don't know anything. Well, I know now one thing, but
I'm sure you know more. You're just like
kind of blanking a little bit, but like the things that I know about the 50s aren't held in my 50s folder in my brain. They're held in my like history folder, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Like so I don't know that it is the 50s
mhm.
per se.
It's weird because the 1950s is what everyone calls like the golden age of Hollywood.
Okay.
But like in my mind, it's like there's like two different sides of the 1950s. And it like they're both similar but like they're also different vibes,
Okay.
which is like, you know, the history side of like 1950s and like the golden age, like that's all in that one.
Mhm.
And then there's like the 50s sock hop, like bop to the top, jukebox diner, roller skating around.
Yeah.
That's in the other.
Yeah, that's my
Which like
favorite.
it's interesting to like put them together and like be like, oh, like Lucille Ball and like Marilyn Monroe were big in the sock hop diner era.
Mhm.
Like not just like the golden age of Hollywood, it was also like the bright poodle skirt and like people with their jukeboxes and
Mhm.
stuff. They're like so similar but also different
Yeah, it's like
in my mind.
putting things together. That's actually so funny cuz I mean, I even have things like that like now where it's like wait a minute. I like two celebrities that don't feel like they belong in the same universe and like you see a picture of them together and you're like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Mhm.
And it just like obviously it makes sense, but it doesn't fit in your brain with
Yeah.
how you see the world. Yeah. They're just like different.
Wait, isn't it? True. Yeah. That Marilyn Monroe and Queen Elizabeth the same age.
Mhm. Which feels crazy.
Because Marilyn Monroe, of course, like died young,
Mhm.
and so she didn't grow old, and so she's been her death age forever.
Yeah.
Like we've only seen her that young, and so like we can't see her old.
Mhm.
So that's impossible for us to think.
Yeah. That's a good point. Cuz I recently saw something that said they were born in the same year, and it was like it just doesn't make sense with like your view of the way that it works. Because
Mhm.
like, yeah, Marilyn Monroe, she was like, I actually don't know how old she like lived to be, but
I think she was like in her 30s.
that's what I was like thinking. But anyway, like she's like belongs like in the 50s era, like famous, whatever. That's crazy. And then Queen Elizabeth is like old and like here in our age.
Yeah, we've only known her as old, but we would have only known Marilyn Monroe as old if she was alive when we were born.
Mhm. But it's like obviously if you put it back, it makes sense that they're the same age. But
Yeah.
like No, she's old and she's young. Obviously, they're not the same age. Duh.
Yeah. Crazy to think. But this is like so like off topic of the 50s, but that also reminded me of like this very similar thing that Anne Frank and Martin Luther King Jr. are also the same age. They were born the same year. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I'm like trying to process. Oh wait,
I hope I'm right.
Didn't
At least I just saw that on the internet.
segregation end in the 50s too?
I thought it ended in the 60s.
Okay. Maybe it was like 58. Okay, this is crazy.
It might have been like late 50s, but I think like of course it was still gonna be crazy. and
Right.
stuff, but maybe I'm thinking of like I don't think everything just like desegregated. I think slowly different places desegregated, right?
Okay, so it says
Because I know that one like televised school.
it was signed into law July 2nd, 1964.
Oh wow,
So yes, that's
that's
actually
way too late.
yeah, by like a lot.
By
Like,
the beginning of the world.
yeah, that's crazy. I should have known that. We should have known that, but
That's
that's crazy.
well, now we do.
Now we do. Now we know it. You know, you can't beat yourself up about not knowing something, but you can beat yourself up about not learning something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, true.
Like, not knowing, that's not your fault.
You just weren't educated.
Yeah, not knowing is not your fault. But, like, if somebody's telling you and you're not learning, that is your fault.
Yeah, because like you can't really be mad at someone for not knowing something or not educating themselves on something they didn't know they had to, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Right. And like I feel like it's because we would just know everything and like the world would be a better place if everyone just did their research on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, yeah, exactly. Because, so, actually do that. Everyone just do their research, figure everything out, and we'll be dandy.
Also, you know what I learned? Okay, well, I just looked up that the Martin Luther King Jr. speech was in 1963. So it wasn't even in the 50s either.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, his speech was improvised. He was planning on doing another speech.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
And then he just, like, did that speech, which was, like,
I have a dream.
that's so crazy.
Have you ever listened to that speech?
No.
I listened to, like, a part of it because, like, it was going around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, I hadn't really.
I was like, whoa, but I was also scared because it was, like, old-timey.
Right, because
Film.
you're. That's so funny that you're scared of old timey film
I'm not, like,
recordings.
scared of it. I'm just, like, it creeps me out. Whenever I hear or see, like, bad quality old film and voice recording. Because, like movies from the 1950s and, like, I Love Lucy don't creep me out because it's good quality.
Right, but it's
But if
like
it's,
the
like,
low.
If it's low quality, like, filmed on a street, or, like, just, like, low quality, just period. And it's, like...
But, like, it has to be old. Like, new quality stuff doesn't.
Yeah, that doesn't creep me out.
New bad quality stuff doesn't.
Yeah, it has to be, like, I would say, early 60s and before.
Okay, yeah. That's actually so funny, I will say.
It's, like, in the same ballpark of Michael Jackson scaring me.
Yeah. Wow. That's...
But Michael Jackson actually does scare me. Like, it's not just, like, he creeps me out. He's, like, I'm terrified.
And it's just like his, like...
It's just him.
Like, forever from beginning of time to the
No,
end.
like, when he was, like, a kid and like that's it.
Didn't scare you.
Right.
But when he got into an adult,
Yeah.
the whole adult life.
Yeah. Like from Thriller on.
Really? Well, is that whenever he started having plastic surgery?
I don't know.
Mm. Right, because why would you do research? Also, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's so sad for you because now you can't like research things or it's harder for you to because of the old film fear.
Right. Because whenever I hear like an old recording, like I'll listen to stuff like that and like watch stuff like that, like for like research and like other things that I just like am interested in, but it'll creep me out. It'll make it scary when it's literally not supposed to be scary, like the I have a dream speech.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that scared some people.
Oh, well, yeah. Speaking on the Michael Jackson thing, like I don't know if...
Oh, yeah.
Because like the first time I remember being introduced to him, like officially, like this is Michael Jackson stuff kind of thing, was watching the Thriller music video.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if that has to do with me being scared of him, because like why would that music video, I don't know, like it's a scary thing for a kid, but like it's not like, I feel like people grow up and be like, yeah, that wasn't scary, but like
yes, but also like deeper fears, like you're not
but
like
also just look at him.
he's not scary.
You can look at Michael Jackson after he got like all those plastic surgeries and bleached his skin and all that.
Is that true?
Well, okay, he had like a skin disease or a skin disorder, and that like made his skin patchy.
Like vitiligo, or like
I
something
think
else?
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I learned that my great grandmother had that. I didn't know that.
And so he bleached the rest of his skin so
Bleached
it
the
wouldn't
rest of it.
be patchy,
Interesting.
I believe.
Right. Because I kind of hear like both ways. Like just bleached it totally, or like it went away on its own, or like what you said, like both.
That's what I've heard.
So technically, I mean, I'm sure some people know, but like it's going to be really hard for us to figure out what's true because everyone's going to say that they're right.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to know who actually is right.
Yeah. But you can literally not tell me. In his voice, you can literally not tell me that you're not just like a little like, ooh, that's a little creepy. Right.
I can tell you. It's not scary to me.
At all. Like you're not like you can just like
Yes.
look watch a video of Michael Jackson like a year before he died.
Yeah.
And like be like, yeah, that's a normal person right there. Just a chill guy.
That's not what I said. I said he's not scary.
So what makes him not a normal person?
Well, like, he's Michael Jackson. He's not scary, is what I'm trying to say.
So he's just a chill guy on that video. Talking all like...
He's not scary.
I would start crying.
Never once have I been scared of the way that he looks or sounds.
I have this like vivid memory of like we were like, me and my family, we were in the car and we were like driving somewhere and it was like night and we were like in a, not like a like skyscraper city, but like we were in like a city with like some big buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And I was literally like sitting there and I was looking out the window and it was like lightning out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what if Michael Jackson, like the lightning struck and like he was just like standing at the top of that building and like the wind was blowing and it's like greasy, like black long hair and like he was like just looking at me and he was like, oh my gosh, that was really scary.
Yeah, why would you do that to yourself? I'm sure there's a community out there of people who are scared of the way that Michael Jackson looks.
Oh yeah, I've seen like one or two people out there.
I'm sure there's a little community that will like agree with you. But like I'm sure most people just like don't have never looked at him and been scared.
Some people I've talked to about it, because like I tell people that just like fun fact kind of thing, and then they're like, I can see that.
Yeah, like I can see what you mean, but like I've never thought of that on my own.
Like not even just a bit. Like you're not just
No.
like, that guy's just a little creepy.
No.
That's
Obviously, he doesn't look like
crazy.
the way that like a normal person looks because he has done so much plastic surgery to himself. I mean, no, he didn't do it, but like gotten those surgeries. But no.
All right. Well, back to the 1950s.
I mean, oh yeah, we weren't there. I was like, we were still on topic, but that's not even on topic.
Yeah, no.
Do you think if we were teenagers in the 50s, do you think you would be like obsessed with like Elvis? Or like what? I guess we don't know, but like from the singers that you know of, like who do you think that you would have liked?
I think.
I think I like some of Elvis's songs. I haven't listened to all of them. I haven't even listened to a full album.
I think in the 50s I would have been an Elvis fan.
Nowadays you're not because you're scared to look at old footage of him.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was another weird thing.
You were. I remember that whenever we were like watching like or we were talking about Elvis one time.
We were like
researching him for something, weren't we?
We weren't like research. We were making like a dance.
Mm-hmm.
We were choreographing a dance, and we wanted to use one of his moves.
So we like looked up,
and we were looking up Elvis dance moves, and I was just like, I couldn't watch them, so you had to watch them.
That's really funny. And you were scared of when he did the lip thing, you were like, I'm scared.
Oh my gosh. I blocked that out because I don't even know what you're talking about. But
like whenever he goes like that, and you were so scared. I remember. And I was like, it was really funny to me because I was like, that's not a scary thing. That's not a scary thing to do. But I guess with like the way that everything was going, like we were watching old film, he was doing like weird hip movements.
We were also the environment. We were in our old dance studio. I'm pretty sure it was nighttime, and I'm pretty sure no one else was there except for like a small group in another room.
Okay. I don't remember that part, but like
so,
I'm
like,
sure
we
that
were
contributes.
In a big like empty building at night.
And then
watching old film.
It did a close up of his face, and he did his lip thing that he does.
That is so
and you
terrifying.
were like, you like ran away. You were like, you were gone. It was really funny. And then so we just stopped because I was like, we had already seen enough.
Mm-hmm.
We got it.
Yeah, we're trying to do that like one like where he's like doing that thing with his leg and he was going across the.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, but like moving.
Like a fish?
Yeah, it looks like one.
I don't remember the moves.
But
I was
anyways,
too focused
I
on
do
you being
think I
scared.
would be a Elvis fan. I'm trying to think of other people that I would have, of course, be a.
From the way that we see it
Lucille
now.
Ball fan.
Right. From the way that we see it now, like with what lasted popularity-wise, I feel like I would have been probably I probably would have been a fan of Elvis. Not like, I feel like the same way that I'm a fan of popular artists now. Like, I'm just like their music, but I'm not like obsessed over just one person.
Mm.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think he would have been like my Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't think, like he could have been, but like I don't think I would have even had like a Taylor Swift in the 50s.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I wouldn't have either. Like, cause like, there's. Because I think if I
really have a Taylor Swift right now.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is I think
Taylor
that
Swift and me.
Right, like I don't have
like she's in every single place.
I don't have a main artist right now, and so I feel like because I have 50 songs, I would, if I were to have a favorite, a big main favorite, then I would have that
Mm-hmm.
now. I mean,
I
like,
think-
there are artists that I like, but not, like, big, like, how, like, you are to Taylor Swift.
You know,
or, like,
Whenever you look up, like, older cars, it seems like there's only one look. And that's making me think, are there other, like, styled looking, like, 1950s cars that we would have probably gotten because, like, the ones we want would probably be too expensive for us?
probably, like, oh,
Because, like, when I think of a 1950s car, I think of, like, a Cadillac convertible or, like, just, like, one that doesn't convert or, like,
and it doesn't convert.
or, like, the Ford trucks. But, like, there has to be more than just those two cars.
Okay, but that was, like, a style, not,
Right.
like, a brand. So, like, if you look outside today, like, a lot of cars have the same kind of style.
Yeah, but
within
they're
the within
also
the type.
all so
Like,
different.
there's cars, and then there's vans, and there's, like, trucks. And so,
Mhm.
like, a lot of cars have the same general look. A lot of vans have the
Right.
same general look. And so I think that that's how it was. Like,
So
they all have the same.
basically, we would have just had our dream car if we just lived in the 1950s.
Yes. Because also, the reason that they... I mean, because, like, they would have been like, a lot cheaper then.
Oh my gosh.
But, like, counting for inflation, but, like, you know, they would have been a lot cheaper then than they are now because they're a rare item today.
Yeah.
But at the time, they were, you know,
Yeah, I knew they
everywhere.
wouldn't
Right.
be as expensive as they are today.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, because they're, like, Ford convertible or, like, a Ford truck,
Mm-hmm.
brand new, that'd still be, like, expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We would get, like, a cheaper car that's, like,
Yeah.
used and stuff.
We'd have an old one from the 20s because that's all we can afford.
Whoa. Actually, that's so true. We probably would have had, like, a 1940s car.
Yeah. Like, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so we wouldn't have had our dream car. But anyways, I'm literally trying to think of other artists from the 50s.
Well, I mean, there's, like, a lot,
I
obviously,
know.
but Jimmy Rogers, I think is his name. He sings that one song that you like secretly.
Oh, yes.
There's, like, so many, I can't even think of a single one.
Wow.
Except for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Leslie Gore.
Did she start in the 50s?
Actually, she might have been 60s.
Hmm.
But, like, I don't know what her first album was. The one that I like a lot is in the 60s, I believe.
What else even happened in the 50s?
What else even happened? Nothing.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, well, let's get into, like, our quiz?
Yeah.
Because I have, like, research that I want to share, and I'm excited. But quiz first. If you mix it, it's better, I promise.
It's literally mixed.
Oh. Well,
It
we
just
are,
tastes like water. I'm telling
we
you.
are in the 50s, like, color now. Let's get this back out.
Yeah, we're gonna take.
Should I do, like, pop culture or what? Or just, like,
I just looked up 1950s quiz.
you looked it up already?
No, but all the others.
Let's do Fact Monster, Decade Quiz, 1950s. Question 1 out of 10.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra appeared in 20 movies during the 50s. Which of these films is not one of them?
Okay.
From Here to Eternity, The Manchurian Candidate, or Guys and Dolls?
Oof. The second one.
The Manchurian Candidate is not it.
We'll not know until the end.
It was right.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I can't tell, but that was right.
Oh my
Good.
gosh.
You're so smart.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Which of the following did not make its first appearance in the 1950s? Okay. Roll-on deodorant. Silly Putty 153. Okay, I don't know what that is.
Only 153. Silly Putty 154.
Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes.
That one.
You think that did not make its first debut?
Yeah, I think like sugary cereal didn't happen until the 60s.
Okay.
That's just like,
Bold
I don't know,
claim.
that just feels.
I feel like I remember that deodorant is then roll-on. Okay, answer and continue. This is a weird layout for a quiz. That was wrong.
Dang it. It was the putty?
Silly Putty 153.
152 was the 50s. Of course. We should have known.
Yeah. Dang.
So what does that make Silly Putty 1? When was that invented? If it's by decade? It's like freaking 1600s.
Okay, this is like a government question. Where did IKE, I don't know what that is, send U.S. Marines in July 1958 after proposing in his Eisenhower Doctrine that military and economic aid be sent to Middle Eastern nations against communist aggression?
Isaac Eisenhower, the president.
Okay. Jordan, Lebanon, or Israel?
What was the question? I was thinking of what IKE was. The whole time you were reading
That's
it, so-
Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac, I, and then his middle name, whatever that is, K, and then E, Eisenhower.
Oh, but it's not like uppercase. Okay, well, anyway, where did he send the U.S. Marines in July 1958 after proposing in his Eisenhower Doctrine that military and economic aid be sent to Middle Eastern nations against communist aggression? Jordan, Lebanon, or Israel?
Lebanon.
Okay, that's what I was feeling too. I have no backing on that. Yes! That's right! Okay, this is an interesting question. The 1994 movie Quiz Show was based on the scandalous rigging of which popular 50s show? Oh, sorry. I have to give you the options. 64,000 question.
Whoa.
I've got a secret. Or 21.
It's called 21. And what's the name of the quiz show in the 90s?
The movie's Quiz Show.
The movie's quiz show.
The movie is called Quiz Show. Which quiz show is it based on in the 50s that was rigged? 64,000 question. I've got a secret. Or 21.
The first one.
64,000 question. I was feeling that. Okay. The correct answer... Oh, it was $64,000. Apparently, there was no dollar sign. It didn't show me. But the correct answer was 21.
That was my second choice.
Right.
Because I wanted to say the second one. I wanted to say the one in the middle, but I was
Oh,
like, that's
I
too
know.
obvious, so it's going to be one of the others.
The secret one.
Yeah.
Question 5 out of 10. It tells me that every time. Which year saw the publication of literary classics, Dr. Zhivago, On the Road, and The Cat in the Hat? Which year did these come out? 1955, 1957, or 1951?
57.
Okay, I was thinking 55. We're going to go 57. 57!
Oh, yeah.
Okay, who was not selected by NASA as one of the 7 Mercury astronauts? Who was not selected? Virgil Grissom. I'm going to pronounce these wrong, by the way. Okay? Not on purpose. Neil Armstrong or John Glenn?
John Glenn?
You think he was not selected?
Not selected. It's probably going to be freaking...
If one of the answers was a woman, that would have been easy.
So true. No one wants them in space.
Right. That's a man's job. Oh, it was Neil Armstrong.
I knew it was going to be him. They wouldn't have put him on there if they weren't trying to trick us. Should have went with my gut.
Yeah, you should have went with your gut. Okay.
Because, like, he's the first man on the moon, so, like, why would he be on a space thing and then, like...
Well, that's where the moon is.
I know, but it's like a trick thing.
I know.
They're like, oh, well, they'll never guess he's not going to be chosen because he's the man on the moon. And so they think that he's going to, of course, be chosen because he was the man on the moon.
Yeah. You're right. That is exactly what happened, and it worked. Okay, roughly how many hula hoops did creator Whammo sell in 1958? Get ready. 41 million, 19 million, or 100 million? I'm going to go right in the middle and say 41 million.
I'm going to go high and say 100 million.
All right.
I think that was a big thing.
We're going 100 million. I have like 5 hula hoops. Do you have any? 100 million!
I literally knew it was going to be high because, like, that just seems like, yeah.
Do you have any hula hoops?
I used to have one.
Yeah, hula hoops are
But, like we've
big.
had multiple, like, in our childhood.
Right,
lifetime.
and they, like, switched out?
Yeah. Because we would get a new one only if we were just, like, at Walmart and we were, like, playing with one and they were, like, a cent. And so my mom was like, okay.
Okay.
And we were like, yeah! And then we played it. We actually brought it home and never played with it again.
Right. You just played with it in the store. Hula hoops are actually... That's actually... makes so much sense. That they were, like, in the 50s. That's so fun, though.
Yeah.
Like, that feels like such a thing to do outside when you have no... when you have no technology or anything.
Right.
Like, that just makes sense. I like hula hoops.
Can we go back to no technology?
Yes. I'm for it. We'll be jobless, but...
Right.
But, you know what? Small price to pay.
Honestly. Bye.
Because if
The
all
second bye
technology is gone,
in this episode already.
if all technology is gone... we won't even have to work. Because, you know what? No one will even know that we exist. So we don't have to do anything.
So true. We could just live
Off the land.
off. Yeah. What?
Nobody... Well, I guess we could do that now.
Yeah.
But, like, we would have no...
It would be
anything.
easier because they wouldn't be taking the land.
They wouldn't be thinking that. Yeah. Okay. Which key event in the Black Civil Rights Movement happened in 1954? Okay. Supreme Court ends school segregation with its ruling in Brown v. Board of Education. We know that one's out.
Yeah, because that happened in the 60s.
Yeah, we just looked that up. Okay, it's not that one. Congress passes the first Civil Rights Bill, 1875, establishing the Civil Rights Commission and protecting voting rights. Okay. Rosa Parks refuses to move to the back of a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama. It just says Ella.
I feel like that happened before. I feel like Rosa Parks happened like either in the 40s or the 60s.
Oh.
But I
Not
also
the 60s.
could see
I
it
feel like-
happening in the 50s.
That's the one that I was going to choose. Because I feel like voting rights, that feels, unfortunately, more recent. Does it not?
No, because
They okay,
black
okay.
men probably were allowed to vote.
Okay.
But I
For
feel like that would have been honestly earlier.
earlier,
Yeah.
right?
I think they were allowed to vote like in the 40s or 30s. Cuz women were allowed to vote in the 1900s? Like literally in 1900 they were allowed to vote. So I think black men being allowed to vote happened
Okay, but it says
before the 50s.
okay,
Is
but
that
it
what
says
it's saying?
protecting. It says I don't know because it says protecting. I think like it already happened, and they're like making it to where you can't change it.
Oh.
I think
That's
Congress
weird.
passes the it says first civil rights bill since 1875 establishing the Civil Rights Commission and protecting voting rights.
This is just really hard.
This is really hard.
You go with your gut, but I'm gonna
No.
say it. No, you choose your answer.
I know, but I don't wanna. Like this is like I don't because I really don't know.
I think it's the bill, but press Rosa Parks.
Okay, I'm gonna press it. It's loading. Ah, you were right. It was the bill. You're so smart.
Well, you thought too. After reading it again,
So when was that then?
Rosa Parks.
Let's not go on a tangent
Yeah,
right
we'll
now
never
because
do
we're
that.
in a just because we're in a page and it will go away
Yeah,
and then we'll lose our
look
progress.
it up later.
Okay,
After the quiz.
right. Okay. Okay. Which state became the new home to two New York baseball teams, the Dodgers and the Giants, after the 1957 season?
Which two states became their home?
Which one state
Oh,
became their conjoined home? Illinois, Florida, or California?
Dodgers. And the who?
Dodgers and the Giants.
California?
Okay, let's
Because I feel like
try
I
that.
remember hearing the California Giants.
Yes, you did. That's right.
I didn't think the Dodgers were in California. That's weird.
Apparently. Brooklyn lost the Dodgers to LA while the Giants relocated to San Francisco. Interesting. Okay. Which song won the first Grammy Award in 1958?
The very first. Oh, cool.
Oh, shoot. This is like,
We just watched the Grammys.
I'm going to say it wrong. Just letting everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
Nel Blue de Pinto de Blue Domenico Monduno. That's the name. The
Wow.
last part. Domenico Mondugno.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name. All I Have to Do Is Dream by Everly Brothers. Or Swing in the Blues Count. Swing in the Blues. Count Basie.
Wow, that was
I don't
crazy.
know any of these.
I think it's the second one,
Because I've heard that one.
but
I think.
my gut is telling me the first one.
You think it's the first one?
I feel like it's not, but because it's there, I think it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because it's one of the choices, I think it is, but like I wouldn't believe it is.
I feel
know.
like
Only because of the times.
right.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna-
that wouldn't make sense.
I agree. I'm gonna click it. We're gonna see. Oh
But
yeah.
I think it's whatever the second one, the
all I have
brothers.
to do is dream.
Yeah, all I have to do is dream.
Oh my gosh, you were right.
All I have to do is dream?
No.
Oh, it's the first one.
The first one. You were right. That's the end of the quiz.
I'm just like really good at
You're good at quizzes.
I'm good at multiple choice because I can figure out which question was put there to try to throw us off.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay,
just
well
gotta
we
be
got
better
6
with
out of
multiple
4.
choice. You got to make them all equal. You can't just throw one that's so off and different, because that's just gonna give the real question away, answer away. How many did we get?
We got 6 right out of 4. Okay, wait. I'm gonna look up this song. No, we got 6 right.
Wow, we're so good. We literally answered 2 more questions than they even gave us correctly. So we got 4 wrong.
Yes, we got 6 right and 4 wrong out of 10. Okay, that was crazy. I'm gonna look up that song. I want to know what it is. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. That sounds like a good song. It was the very first Grammy winner.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's so good for them. Okay, now we're going to look up when Rosa Parks didn't sit in the bus. In the back of the bus. I know. Oh, what? Oh, it was the 50s. It just wasn't 1958. Or whatever it said.
I thought it
50.
said which didn't happen in the 50s, period.
Which one didn't happen in the 50s? Or which one did?
Which one happened in the 50s?
It says on December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow. So maybe all those things happened in the 50s. Just, I was thinking that the question asked what happened in the 50s.
Me too. Maybe it was, I feel like it was a very specific year, though, that it asked.
Oh.
Finish the
lyric?
So this week we're doing specifically 50 songs because of the topic of the video today. So I tried to pick songs that were more your style and less my style.
Mm.
I hope I did a good job. One of the songs I hadn't ever listened to, so I hope that you have.
Okay.
Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon.
This is like the next freaking verse.
Yeah. So it's not the next
different.
verse. It's the same verse. So I'm going to start from the beginning and then I'm going to go back to where I stopped. Yeah. So weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Just say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. I'm saying that wrong. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon.
So let's go get away.
You're like close, but like no.
Well, that's my only guess.
Okay. So it's they say come fly with me, let's fly away.
Oh.
So that's the song that I was hoping that you knew. Like that I didn't.
Well, I know the chorus.
No, what I meant, I didn't know that song and I had not heard it, but I knew that you listened to a lot of Frank Sinatra, so I was picking a Frank Sinatra song. And I was like, I hope this is one that you listen to.
You've never heard that song?
Well, like, okay, I've heard it, but it's not like in my, like, I would never be able to guess the next lyric.
Yeah, same.
Okay, well, so I picked wrong, but like I was hoping. That's why I did that first.
Okay. The warden threw a party in the county jail. The prison band was there and they began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. You should have heard those knocked out.
Jailbirds sing.
Yeah!
Oh my god!
I would not have gotten that.
Should have heard this knocked out jailbird sing, let's rock.
I didn't even know any of those words.
Oh,
I just go, should have been horn, hey, let's rock. So.
Well, that was actually very surprising.
I was not, no offense, I was not expecting you to know any of those words either.
Yeah. Why would you choose one?
Because I would assume you would know a popular song more than any other song.
Right.
Because I don't
Okay.
know any. I'm looking these up on the spot.
Right. So I actually have a part from that song too. It's a different part.
Oh.
So I'll just do that one next.
I didn't even know the chorus, so. I mean, the first verse.
It's gonna be easy.
Oh, okay.
Number 47 said to number 3, "You're the cutest jailbird I ever did see. I sure would be delighted with your company." Say it out loud.
Company.
And then do the next part, because it's like...
Oh. I don't see.
It's
I don't
like
know
the chorus.
words.
It's like leading up to the chorus. It's like the pre-chorus.
Right, but I just told you that I don't know the leading up to the chorus
Oh,
of the
right,
first
okay.
part.
I already said it, I think.
Company. Just come on, do this jailhouse rock with me.
Yes! Yes!
Whoa, that came out of my boots head.
I knew you could do it. Good job.
Okay. I hope this is easy enough. Okay. It's far beyond the stars. It's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart will lead. Can you say it again? Wait, Beyond the Sea? This is a 50s song, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, maybe it's just this guy. Because it says, song by Robbie Williams, 2001.
No, that is a 50 song, because I was researching 50 songs, and I was like looking at a playlist on YouTube, and that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, and this is like on my 50s playlist too.
Yeah, that
so.
guy must have...
Yeah, maybe it's remastered 2001.
Yeah.
Wait, what you want me to do?
Say it again.
It's far beyond the stars. It's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt. My heart will. Oh, I said lead, didn't I?
I don't know.
Pretty sure I did.
Lead me to you?
That's a good guess.
Lead... shoot. Lead me somewhere. Lead me beyond the sea. Oh my gosh. Lead me.
Well,
Lead you beyond the sea. Us.
it's okay.
Okay.
My heart will lead me there soon.
Oh. Okay. Whatever. I like that song.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like I like them, but I don't know every word, obviously. So
Right.
okay, you know this song. Obviously, I mentioned it earlier. Also, I will say something after. Okay, why must I meet you in a secret rendezvous? Why must we steal away to steal a kiss or two? Why must we wait to...
Do the things that lovers do
Oh my gosh.
secretly.
That's so close. Do the things
We long to do.
we want to do. Maybe
Oh.
long is what it says.
All three of those are definitely right.
Oh, okay. And then
It
why, oh,
changes
why, oh,
again.
why, oh, why, oh, why.
Oh shoot!
But you did it. Good job.
Thank you.
But there was an extra verse that on the lyrics that I was looking up that I was like, wait, but like it was weird because I remember hearing it. I can like hear that verse in my head, but I looked up the song and it's not in there.
Interesting.
And I was like,
It's a secret verse.
yeah. So like maybe there's like one more. So maybe there's like a version that's like a little bit longer
Yeah.
that is somewhere, and like I'm just like not looking at the right version or something, because all the other lyric websites didn't have that verse on there, but that one did. But like I remember that part. I couldn't tell it to you now because I forgot it, but it was like something about why must we wait till we're dancing cheek to cheek or something like that. Do you remember that? Something about dancing cheek to cheek? Okay.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just like gaslighting myself into recognizing it because I read it, and so I'm like, okay, so it's part of the song.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me
you were through with me, and now you say you're sorry. Is that right?
I don't know, I'm away.
Oh, you were away.
I knew that one was too easy.
Yeah, I listened to that song like over and over and over again one day because it was my song of the day. It was literally the only song I listened to that day.
Well, just the only song I could think of.
No, that's good. I literally love the way that her voice sounds in that song. So I love listening to it because it's just like, cry me a river, but like good. Because, that was good. Okay. Transition back.
We're back, and we're ready to learn.
So, I've mentioned this a few times to Aaron, but to you guys, I didn't. So, it's my turn to share my research of the decade, and I technically chose something that didn't start in the 50s, and it didn't end in the 50s, but it went over the 50s, through the 50s, okay?
Mm.
Started in the 30s and ended in the 60s.
Wow.
So, just a little, like, kind of cheating, but no, I'm not, because this did happen. So, I chose lobotomies.
Fun!
So, this is gonna...
Well, not.
Fun topic.
Excited. I wish my coffee was better. So that I could, like, drink it and listen.
Yeah. So, I'm probably just gonna read this and then translate.
Right.
So, they were popular from the 1930s to the 1960s, and they peaked in the 40s right after World War II.
Mm.
I actually don't know exactly why, but, like...
Just given.
Yeah. That's
just because, like, all the guys who are coming back from the war, they're, like, going crazy, and so they're like, let's fix you up.
Let's fix you up. Right. So, I don't think that's how you spell that, but as, like, a little summary of, like, what it is, what a lobotomy is it is a surgery that causes most of the connections in the prefrontal cortex in your brain to be severed. Like, cut, like, gone. People, actually, at the time, people didn't even really like that it was happening. They didn't like the idea of it, but for some reason they were still doing it. So, like, yeah. Like, people were just like, we should stop that. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, the man who invented lobotomies won a Nobel Prize for psychology and medicine.
Oh, not for it, just...
For it. Because of it. Like, he won a prize in psychology or medicine because he invented that.
They should take that away from him.
Right. I mean, I don't know if he's, like, still alive.
Well, they should. They should destroy that Nobel Prize.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name. I didn't write it down.
Not important.
Yeah. By 1951, almost 20,000 lobotomies had been performed in the United States alone.
Ew.
But even more had happened in the United Kingdom.
Mm.
I don't have an exact number, but I know that it's more than here by the 1950s. 51. 60% of lobotomy patients were women.
Of course.
Right. I mean, that's not like a huge margin, but like, it's just more. Common side effects were increased appetite, epilepsy, differences in personality and emotions, brain abscesses, which is a pus-filled swelling in the brain caused by infection. You know, they weren't being clean or anything. Bleeding in or around the brain, dementia, and death.
Right.
Of course. Which is a lot of
side effects
that are really bad. So,
none of those sound good at all, actually.
Yeah, not a single one. I mean, like, I started off with, like, the tamest one, increased appetite.
Mm-hmm.
That's not, like, too bad. You're just more hungry.
Yeah.
And so, like, people gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure nobody was very happy about.
Yeah.
In that time period. Yeah.
Then.
The purpose of the operation was to reduce the symptoms of mental disorders, in quotations, because that is a very broad term, which we will get into in a moment. British psychiatrist Maurice Partridge, who conducted a follow-up study of 300 patients of lobotomies, said the treatment worked by reducing the complexity of psychic life. So they were super, like, okay, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. Basically, like, dumb and couldn't process things correctly. Like, they were just, like, the way that they viewed the world was way simpler now.
Oh.
Following the operation, responsiveness, self-awareness, and self-control were reduced. So, yeah. Basically, they just had one of the doctors described his patients as childlike, or medically induced childhood is what he said, I believe.
That's so weird.
So they were, like, brought down to, like, being 4 years old again when you can't really understand how things work.
Yeah.
In the 50s, the hype started to die down, and they were being used less and less, thankfully. However, similar procedures were still being done that were, like, a little bit different. They weren't called lobotomies, but they were still basically that. The reason the hype started dying down is because lobotomy patients were being portrayed in movies and books as the way that they are, and people were like, oh, I don't like that. So I'm not going to do that because, you know, they actually got a chance to see the reality of the situation instead of just a quick
Hearing
fix.
About it or something.
Instead of just, like, hearing that it's, like, some miracle cure for your, quote, mental disorders. A survey of British lobotomy patients found... British lobotomy patients. I don't know about American ones, but... 13% of patients were deemed to have made a full recovery. 13% made a full recovery. That is so low. 28% were deemed to have made a significant recovery. And 25% made no change. 4% died as a result of surgery.
Having that be on the percentage should not be a thing.
Yeah. So one of the patients, just like one person, 29-year-old woman, was described as a smiling, lazy, and satisfactory patient with the personality of an oyster. Her doctor said that. And she could not remember the doctor's name and endlessly poured coffee from an empty pot. Which sounds horrible.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Like, she'd, like,
that's so
pouring
sad.
him coffee, but, like, there's nothing in there. Like, okay, whatever. Lobotomies were performed by inserting a metal rod into the skull through the eye socket and tapped with a mallet and then kind of wiggled around.
Oh my gosh. That's like the only thing I, like, really know about it.
Okay. So before lobotomies were invented, this is like before, it was thought that mental illness was connected to your soul, and that meant that you had like a demon in there, or you were wrong, like messed up. But so at that time, solutions were sorry, but solutions to cure your mental illness at that time were like exorcisms and things like that, because it was a demon, of course.
Yeah.
But then some guy, it literally says some guy, but he has a name and, I just don't know it, connected mental illness to your physical body instead of like your soul, which is one step closer to in the right direction, but they still took it wrong, of course.
Yeah.
So when that was discovered, then methods like isolation, the bath of surprise, which is a super, as cold as they could get it bath that they dunked a patient in, really unknowingly, to shock them into passing out. Like, going, like, yeah.
What's that gonna do? Make them pass out and then come back as the same person.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes no sense. Also, how do you get put into a ice bath with no warning? Like, how do you not know it's coming?
Right.
Like, yeah. Anyway, another method was a rotating chair. Like, it was like on a string or like on a rope. Not a string, but like it was on a rope and you were spun like around and around and around until you, quote, vomited out your mental illness. Obviously that didn't work. Reasons that a person would be subject to this torture were things like epilepsy, depression, or even just like being a stubborn person. So like if you like disobeyed your husband or just like didn't live up to society, then you were deemed to have mental illness. So it was kind of like being a witch in like the old times, but it was just mental disorders.
They just literally find it anyway.
Yeah. And like men did get these like treatments too.
Only if they were probably like gay.
Right. So like yeah. Commonly someone would develop illness due to the harsh conditions of their methods. Yeah. So like especially the like isolation, like they would go in being like a fine like normal person, but like because being alone for so long will drive you crazy, which makes them have to stay longer.
Right.
Because now they actually are crazy.
That's literally like worst nightmare kind of stuff.
Yeah. So clearly that wasn't working. So then eventually, which I'm going to put an insert story in between these two things in a moment, but like eventually lobotomies were replacing all of those methods. So they didn't just like realize that it wasn't working and then just like invent lobotomies, because like I'm going to tell you how they were invented. So in 1848, there was a railroad. I'm sure you've like heard this or seen this guy's story on like those interesting fact YouTube videos. A railroad worker named Phineas Gage was working on the railroad, and he was packing in explosives into the railroad for some reason. I don't know how it works, but I guess that's what you're supposed to do. And he accidentally set it off instead of packing it in. And it launched a metal rod that was like thick. Like it was like a big boy. Through his cheek, through his brain, and out his head, and landing 80 feet away. Like,
right through.
Yeah, like, and like it went
clean.
Yeah, all the way through his head. So
he just had a giant hole in his whole head.
and he was reported, like, at the accident, like, not really, like, feeling like anything was wrong. Which, obviously, like, it went through, like, through his brain. Like, it took a chunk with it. And, of course, I mean, part of this is because, like, when you get hurt so badly, like, the shock of it and adrenaline will take away some of the pain for a moment.
Yeah.
But, like, he was also, like, kind of fine. He did have to, like, go through a recovery process, of course. I mean, he had a giant hole in his head. But he went to the hospital and, like, expecting to go back to work in, like, 2 days. Like, he was like, guys, like, I'm fine, basically. I mean, like, it hurt, but he was like, I feel
Even
ready.
if I felt fine, I would be like, there's a giant hole in my face and head.
Mm-hmm. Also, I forgot to mention, disclaimer, this is just my research. That doesn't mean that it's 100% fact.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I found. So, after his recovery, it was reported that he had experienced changes to his personality. He was once seen as a hard worker, a very nice friend, and just overall a reliable guy.
Mm-hmm.
But after his accident, he was seen as an irritable, unpleasant guy and couldn't hold down a job and always drunk.
Oh, wow.
Like, basically the exact opposite.
Mm.
And it was at that moment that, like, doctors and scientists realized, like, they connected the front part of your brain to personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so that started brain, like, science and, like, research and stuff.
Mm.
And so that led to a lot later when lobotomies were big. But actually, the first unofficial lobotomy, so, like, it wasn't named that, it wasn't anything, was in 1888. So, like, long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not become common until the 1930s. So it was just like one doctor was doing that because he was like, I'm doing it.
Right.
So, yes, the front part of your brain is connected to things like personality, and stuff like that. So, like, in theory, it makes sense why you would think, oh, let's just, like, go in there to fix, like, mental disorders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think that. Except now we know, obviously, why that is a very bad idea, and you can't just go poking around in someone's brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's important for things like reasoning and language and, like, social skills.
Yeah.
Just, like, being a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have just a lower quality of life when that's happening to them.
Yeah.
They can't do anything. Also, Phineas was, apparently he could remember what day it was, but he couldn't remember how to, like, count money and stuff like that. So, like, different things. Also, his wasn't an official lobotomy, obviously.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of the similar symptoms because that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's, like, all my research.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff just, like, makes me lose hope. But at least we, like, stopped.
Yeah.
Like, lobotomies don't happen anymore, do they?
No. I don't think so.
Knowingly.
Right. I don't actually know if they were, like, outlawed or if they were just like, hey, guys, let's not do this anymore.
Yeah.
I should hope it was outlawed because that's crazy. But also, I mean, there's always things going around that are, like, below the board. But there's, yeah. I'm pretty sure there's like there's a few famous people that got lobotomies and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do too much research into people who got them. I was just doing research on the procedure itself. So, like, there was like a Roosevelt, I think.
Yeah, also Kennedy.
Oh, maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Or maybe both.
maybe.
Psh, no.
I don't understand, like, how scientists and doctors can just think stuff like that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of scientists and doctors should not be scientists and doctors because...
Like morally, you mean?
Yeah, because I think a lot of them are doing it not to better the world, but for their own, like, interests and curiosity. I think a lot of doctors and scientists are only curious to how humans work and how things work, and not necessarily how the things they will do will affect the humans and the things they do.
Right.
Because they just they're like that. They're like, ooh, let's figure out how the brain works and let's kill all these people just to figure it out.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate,
I think
say.
a lot of doctors specifically are kind of sick because they just want to... Like, why would you want to be a doctor to dissect people and, like, to are alive, that are, like, their lives are still working, their bodies are still going, and, like, you want to, like, test on them. Like, that's not what a doctor does, but a lot of people, I think, take on the profession of a doctor to do that.
Curiosity just kind of gets the better of them.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I feel like there's definitely lots of instances where that is, like, a for sure fact. But, like, in the case with the lobotomy, I mean, I think they actually were trying to help people, from my perspective.
Some of them, maybe.
True, I mean,
but to see the end result of most of them and to still keep doing it, thinking it's going to change, even though they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
That does not scream to me, I'm trying to help people. That screams to me, I'm curious of how this is working and how it's not working, and what are we doing? Let's just keep ripping into these people's skulls and brains and poking and prodding at them.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen those like before and after pictures?
Yeah.
They're like, I mean, you can just tell.
You can literally physically see a difference.
Yeah. Like they're...
So I think these doctors don't care about their patients.
Also, there was a lot of different societal things at the time, of course. So it's like somebody being more like obedient and like doing whatever you say would have been like better to them in a lot of cases. Not everybody, obviously, because I mean, we still have the same brains and stuff as people, but like there was more of a reason to do the lobotomies at the time. Because and I think that's so unfortunate as to why it took so long to get him out.
Yeah.
I mean, from the 30s to the 60s, that's a long time to be hurting that many people. And to only have a small percentage of people actually have the outcome that you wanted. And the majority of lobotomy patients didn't want that, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they were submitted by other people.
Or if they went in by themselves, they didn't want the results they got.
Right. I mean, obviously, because who would willingly choose to be less of who they are?
Right.
It's just so sad and so frustrating, which is just
It's crazy.
Stating the obvious.
And like it's so sad to me that like so many people have to basically sacrifice their lives for the world to change. And them not like willingly do it.
Yeah.
Like their lives are sacrificed for the future people and humans that are not any better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy to me. That,
That's
like,
actually a really good like commentary, like what you just said.
thousands of people just like get tortured and die.
So many people die before we even realize that it's a problem.
Yeah.
Which is, and then even more people die while we're trying to fix it.
Yeah. It's like hundreds and hundreds of people have to die for people to notice. And then once they notice, even more hundreds of people have to go through the torture physically or mentally to change that thing that's killing people.
You said it.
And it's just
That's
stupid.
And the fact, okay, the fact that is still so, like, such a big thing that's happening is
Like,
depressing.
will we ever learn?
No, because people are people, and people are heartless, as at the center.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose to be kind, which is crazy. Kindness should be the default.
Yeah.
But that is not true for so many people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That, like, makes me, like, scared for just, like, the world, but, like, also there's so many people who give me hope, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people I know give me hope, and a lot of people I know don't. Because I'm just like, how can you be
And
like that?
It's the kind of thing, like, you have to, if you want change to happen, like, you have to be part of it.
Yeah. And like I was saying, like, so many people sacrifice their lives unknowingly, so it's better to sacrifice it knowingly.
Mm-hmm. It's yeah.
Because then you're willingly going into the gunfire and sacrificing
Yeah,
for
I mean,
the
it's
cause
it's
you're
choice.
taking on.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which, like, neither
for the
is
people
good,
who
but
yeah, for the people who are thrown into the gunfire,
it's a really tough situation because like I said, if you want change to happen, you have to be part of it. You have to be part of the change.
mm-hmm.
But in a lot of cases, that requires putting yourself in a very compromising position. You're putting yourself in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
Mm.
So it makes sense why a lot of people don't do it. But it's really frustrating. It's also frustrating that that's a requirement.
Yeah.
Like, why
do we have to risk our lives to be good?
Yeah, yeah.
To be happy, people have to die. To be close to happy, people have to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because not every human on this earth is going to ever be equally happy at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it is possible for everyone to be happy at the same time if everyone just, like, minded their own business and didn't worry about what other people are doing. Like, in the sake of, like, I don't like that you're doing that, so you have to stop. Like, if people stopped doing that, then we could all, like, agree to disagree in a good way.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone could be happy at once. If, like, I just stop caring about what you're doing. Because then that means that everyone would be minding their own business.
Yeah. But,
And
like,
not
in reality, that's not possible.
Yeah. I mean, like, in a perfect world, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, in a perfect world, there would be... No, that is a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world, no one would die.
Yeah. No one would be hateful enough to wish that upon somebody.
Yeah.
But we don't live there. So that's crazy.
But I still have hope.
But
And I think that the world can change.
if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you.
Yeah, that was a jump scare. I didn't even realize that was Michael Jackson until like that moment you saw on my face.
Yeah.
I realized.
You were like possessed by him, and you were like, "Get out!"
But yeah, the 1950s. I think every decade is a pivotal moment in life, and I think every year is a pivotal moment in the path of the earth.
And we're there right now.
And we're making changes. Everything is important in the moment.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be important later. You know what's actually so like defeating?
No, I'm trying to end the podcast on a high note.
Okay, sorry. Erase that. I won't tell you what's defeating. I'll just tell you what's good.
Yeah.
If you keep talking to people, somebody's gonna listen.
Yeah.
If you keep talking to people, somebody's gonna listen, and eventually, the right person will hear you.
Mm.
Boom. Mic drop.
And that is how we will sign off today on a high note. So thank you so much for watching or listening.
You have to do the outro in a high note.
So thank you so much for watching or listening or whatever you're doing. And I hope you had a good time with us in the 1950s. And we'll see you next week for the last episode of season 2.
Oh! Shoot! Bye, guys. Toodles. You should have done it in a high note. That would have been really funny.